rental property. The power of amortization, appreciation, depreciation, cash flow, equity, leverage. This is like Captain Planet. If you look at multifamilies of all the different superheroes, you need to have all the different 5 elements put together to get this one. There are 7 elements in multifamily. So many reasons to invest in multifamily as opposed to all the other investments. But the most magical and most powerful of them all is the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest, the compound effect. Over time, these rental properties pay for more rental properties. Over time, these rental properties become like an insurance policy. Over one deal that's a bad deal, they cover it. And once that deal stabilizes, now it adds to the pack. It all adds to the bunch. You start getting more and more cash flow. And if you're really good at it, you're paying down mortgage with the debt. You're paying down some debt, so you're getting that amortization. If the market continues to go up, you're getting that appreciation, which is your equity. Now you get that power, that asset. But sometimes you don't even need equity. Sometimes all you need is to have assets worth that much. In our case, I can go to a bank and say, yeah, I got $10 million worth of assets. They don't give a shit how much I owe on it. They know that I can handle that much asset. They're willing to give me more. Now, the equity does help when it comes to lending, but just knowing when you're taking a deal from an investor, they'll question whether you can close once you get to a certain size. 3 families are not going to worry about. But you start getting up to those $2 million, $3 million, $4 million deals. I want to know, what else do you own? What else do you have? Have you closed before? Can you manage these things? Can you handle this property? So just having the asset, the cash flow now obviously helps. There's so many elements that compound in real estate, multifamily, that don't happen in wholesaling, right? Literally none of them happen in wholesaling. None of them happen in flipping. You may appreciate in a flip. And typically a flip, you're not going to amortize because you're going hard money with it, or you just use cash, so no loan. So the 2 common denominators there are either cash or hard money. When you're looking at multifamily, suddenly everything opens up. It's even a tax shelter, right? The depreciation is fantastic. You take the cash flow, improve the building. Once the building is throwing off excess cash flow, you do not live off of that. You take that money and you store it up for the next down payment. In the beginning, it's not going to buy another house, but 2 or 3 of these later, they do in a year earn enough for the down payment for the next property. Once you get a bunch of them, they start buying more rental property. Once you get a bunch of them, sometimes they have equity appreciation that happens that allows you to buy more. It comes from compounding. It's not timing the market. It's time in the market. It's doing a great deal. It's putting in backup offers. It's putting in more offers than anybody else. It's evaluating more deals than anybody else. Being told no a lot of times, right? Being told no all the time, it means you're putting in really low offers that if they hit, it would be perfect. It would be absolutely perfect. This is what my business partner taught me. He said, does your head hang in shame on that offer? We were talking about 11 units for $750,000. I said, no, but it's a decent deal. He says, I don't like decent deals. I'd really like to have your head hanging in shame on the offer. And I was like, well, what do you think about 700? He says, how do you feel about 700? I was like, well, it's better. And he's like, but does your head hang in shame? I said, no. It's like, what about, so I said 650. And he's like, how do you feel about it? He's like, well, I feel pretty bad. He's like, how about 6? I was like, fuck, 6 is low. Like, that's really low. And he was like, that's probably the one then. So we went back and we offered 6 and they took it. And we closed on that deal. And in our refinance, the deal was evaluated at $900,000. We bought it for 6. Less than a year later, I put offers in that make my head hang in shame. I want you to be walking around hearing a lot of no's, just like a, oh, no again, no again, oh no. I feel so bad about this offer I put in. So that one day when the offer gets accepted, you're like, holy shit, I can't believe they accept. I can't wait to tell everybody that this got accepted. This is insane. The best deal ever. You ever wonder why I brag about all my deals? It's because that's how I get them. I literally hang my head in shame week after week after week, rejection after rejection after rejection. So when a deal gets accepted, I'm fucking surprised. I'm like, whoa, I can't believe they took that. And that's why we look like we're always doing amazing deals. We don't do a ton of deals. We just do really good deals. We just wait for the right one. And we don't wait for an agent to call us. We're calling agents. We're calling wholesalers. We're calling the investors themselves. All my investor friends, I'm like, hey, I don't want you to be offended, but I want to be the guy who offers you the least amount of money for your properties. And I really want you to say yes. And I'll pay the most that makes sense for you. Like if you were in my position, I'll pay the most that makes sense for you to buy it. Like if you can justify the cash flow and show me how it cash flows, I will absolutely pay that number. As long as it cash flows a reasonable amount that can justify a loan. And so I've had friends of mine offer me their properties and say, I wouldn't sell to anybody else. I like how honest you are. I know you could close quick. Just get used to being the guy who puts in low offers, the gal who puts in low offers. That's you. Hey, as long as they cash flow, right? We don't throw away deals. I had this conversation with Saeed a few weeks ago. If a house is a good deal for me at 350,000, I'll offer 350,000. And if the seller tells me, they'd take 280, I'll offer 280. I'm not going to offer more. If they tell me that they're fine with 350 and I know I can sell that thing for 450 on the market all day long, I'm going to go with 350. I just want to serve the seller and make sure that my company can make money and profit. So we're not being pigs, but if you go and offer 150,000 on 350 and they take it, you'll have a really good story. It doesn't hurt to throw out a low ball. If somebody requires you to say an offer, throw out the lowest offer you can think of.